best part of working in S&C is working for free. This is going to come off like a rant, but I swear to you, I don't mean this to be a rant. I'm not just some old man complaining. In fact, actually, really, this doesn't affect people my age typically, but it'll affect people who are like in college right now. So, like, this isn't just some old guy complaining about something stupid. I was listening to a podcast, and I don't want to even name the podcast because I actually like them. I like the hosts. The 99% of their podcasts are very good. I enjoy them very much. But in the middle of a good podcast, you just had to ruin a good thing. And this discussion came up about internships. And one of the individuals, who I think very highly of, unfortunately made this comment that he thinks it's wrong that people are doing unpaid internships. And I was like, yeah, that's right. And then he was like, interns should be paying you for the privilege of interning. And I was like, wait, what? And the conversation took a weird turn at that point, and they discussed how it's not enough that you're expected to work for free. No, you should be paying for the opportunity. You should be paying for the privilege of interning. So instead of you just working for free, you should pay them. I don't know other people's circumstances in life, but for myself, I've had to do unpaid internships, and doing unpaid internships sucks. And I lived out of my car, and I didn't have enough money for food. Because why? Because when you're doing an internship, you don't have time to work a full-time job. How do you work a full-time job on top of doing a full-time internship? I had internships where I started work at 5 o'clock in the morning and worked till 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 some nights. Unpaid. Let me point this out. Not everyone can just afford to pay rent or a mortgage or stay in a hotel room or whatever and work for free. Yes, I get it. You know, we all went to school. You got your master's and your PhD, and you know we're all so lucky that we were able to take out college loans for that, right? I mean, thankfully I've paid off my loans at this point in my life, but you know, like, think about how much you spent on education, because no one in this field just has a bachelor's. So at the very least, you have a master's, and you most likely have a PhD, as you know most people do. And now you have to do an unpaid internship. But you don't just have to do one. You'll have to do a few. Why? Because it's the only way to get your foot in the door. And it's not enough that they're unpaid. People are now saying, you should pay us for the privilege of interning, because that's basically an extension of your education. So if you paid for your education, then you should be paying for the internship. And it's like, no. My work, my labor is paying you. You would have to pay an employee if I wasn't doing this. And you know exactly what happens at these internships. What do? Oh, you clean the mirrors, you clean the bathroom, you clean the floors, you clean up the weight room. You're doing labor. I don't want to say it's slave labor, because that's like a term that people throw around entirely too loosely. But this is unpaid labor, and this is bullshit. Okay? It's like this stupid fucking game. Okay, oh, you want to work for our organization? Well, you'll have to work here as an unpaid intern first. Which I get it, right? It's sort of a job interview. I mean, here I am. I'm almost 40, and you know, I am still being told by employers, well, you'll need to do an unpaid internship for a year first. A year. Yeah, but we'll hire you at the end of it. We don't hire anyone that has an intern for us first. A year. Yes. A year. And that's not completely uncommon. That's uncommon, I guess, in terms of like other fields. But in strength and conditioning, it is not an unusual thing for people to expect you to work for free before they'll hire you. And I don't have a problem with being underpaid. If you told me we'll bring you in as an assistant and we'll pay you $25,000 a year, I would be like, sure thing. I wouldn't even think twice about it. We'll bring you in as an assistant and we'll pay you $0. And then maybe we'll hire you at the end of it. Boy, you sure are asking a lot from people. And I think that that's my hang up here. And I don't think that this is healthy. I don't think this is good. And I think that the only way it's going to get better is if everyone got on board, and this is not going to happen. So like I live in a fairyland, pretending for wishful things to happen. Next I'll have a unicorn. I'll ride it and win the Kentucky Derby. We need everyone to get on board and be like, you know what? I'm not going to work for free anymore. And if you did that, then they would start paying people. I can't help but look and see that the head sport coach is making $2 million. The head sport coach is making $2 million. The S&C coach is making $100,000 for the head coach. You can't pay your interns something, just something to live on. Like, try finding a place where your rent is less than $1,000 a month. Maybe you could give people $1,000 a month even. That would really help. You would get more money being unemployed and collecting, SNAP and EBT. Instead, you decide to go work and do this unpaid internship, and you get zero for it. And that somehow, you're supposed to still be able to pay your bills. And, we don't want you to have a part-time job on the side because we want you to be available. Do you see the problem here? This is ridiculous. It's an unreasonable ask. And so what you end up with is you end up with a bunch of rich kids that are coming into S&C because they're the only ones who have a mommy and daddy that can finance them and support them. It wasn't this way when I was first starting out. I'll say that. This is me being sympathetic towards the younger generation. When I was first starting out, no one expected you to work an unpaid internship for that long. It was like, you'll have to do an unpaid internship. And it's like, okay, it's part-time. Oh, okay. And it's like 3 days a week. Okay. And, it's like 4 hours, per day. So 12 hours per week. Yeah. Oh, well, I can do that. But today, people are unreasonable. It's like, we want you to work a full day. And it's not just a full day, like an 8-hour day. It's like a full day. Like, you need to be here when the things start and be here all the way till they close. All day, every day. It's like, how are people supposed to afford their bills? And if this isn't enough, this is the part where it's going to turn to a rant. Here you are working an unpaid internship, so maybe you try to start up a side gig. You do some online coaching, and the best part is people will contact you and expect you to work for free. Because the best thing about S&C is working for free. People message you, and they're like, I want you to send me a program or give me a program or whatever, and they don't want to pay you for it. And people call you up, and they're like, hey, I want to pick your brain. And it's like, you are stealing people's money because time is money. So if you steal people's time, you're stealing their money. That's like an hour I could have spent with my wife or something, as if I have time for other things. I don't understand this bizarre, and personal trainers get it too, this bizarre thing that people somehow think that, you're an S&C coach, you can just work for free. You just give it away for free. I give plenty away for free. I used to hand out people free programs. I used to have a ton of free programs on my website. I took them down. Why? Because people would message me complaining about them. It's a free program. And people are like, I don't want to do hang cleans, so I need you to rewrite this program without hang cleans. And it's like, no, it's a free program. I'm not going to rewrite it for you. Oh, well, this is bullshit. No, it's not bullshit. It's a fucking free program. If you want to change it, go change it. But, I'm not going to rewrite it just because you don't like doing hang cleans. That's ridiculous. So I just took them down because I got so many complaints. People are like, well, I don't know how to do snatches. Then don't do that program. I have a dozen other programs that don't have any cleans or snatches in them. So people complain about this stuff, and then they get mad at you whenever you tell them, well, I do run an online coaching thing, and you can contact me. No, I don't want that. I want you to just do it for free. So they get it from both sides. It's not bad enough that you're working an unpaid internship. Then people get mad at you because you're like, yeah, I don't have time to do this stuff. I spend my whole day working. And then people are like, well, don't you have time to write my program? No, I don't have time to write your fucking program. And this is a weird thing. So all I can say here, and I know this is going to fall on deaf ears, but as S&C coaches and potential S&C coaches, we should refuse to do unpaid internships. If everyone did that, they would start paying. And we should refuse to accept low pay. If you offer me $25,000 to work with your pro athletes, I'm going to say no, because I'm worth more than that. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. That's a piece of business advice someone gave me from a different field, but he wasn't wrong. He also pointed out to me that if someone values your opinion, they'll pay you for it. They'll offer to pay you for it. People who want your opinion but don't want to pay for it, they're just kicking the tires. They're never going to buy anything from you. They're just seeing what you'll give away for free. They will consume your content, but they will never become a customer. Consumers versus customers. Consumers consume your content. Customers buy your products. Consumers don't become customers whenever they're just looking for the free handout. That's not the person who buys something later on. So if they don't value you, they don't value your time, they don't want to pay you, they just want whatever's free, they want the free handout, and then move along. And I just think that, and like I said, this is going to fall on deaf ears. I think as a field, S&C coaches, potential S&C coaches need to refuse to work for free, number one, and number two, refuse to work for low pay. And if everyone did that, they would have to start paying people, because you can't tell me that you can pay your head coach $2 million a year and you can't give $1,000 a month to an intern. If you have the budget to pay $2 million to the head sport coach, you could hand $1,000 to your intern so they can afford some fucking food. And that's it. Like I said, this kind of turns into a rant, and I don't want it to be a rant, because I want this to be a positive message. I want to tell people, don't do it for free. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. And it's just an unreasonable thing that so many people are out there and they expect you to do it for free. That's a terrible way to treat people.